most welcome to this show, ladies and gentlemen, and this is Entebbe 1. My name is Samuel Batambia. With me, I have the town clerk at Entebbe Municipality, who is Mr. Emmanuel Gachal, and Mr. Otagi Andrew, who is one of the team members of MDF. You are most welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you.
Today we are going to discuss something very new, which is not actually very new, but something that concerns us, and that is NAM Summit and G77. It's now about 2 months ago. We are able to host this wonderful summit, and we want to see how it has really impacted the lives of our community in Entebbe and Uganda at large. We are going to just basically rotate around that, and then finally, the town clerk was going to take us through how to acquire land titles in our municipality, where land has become very, very expensive. You are most welcome, Mr. Town Clerk.
Thank you.
How has been the week?
It's been okay.
You're looking so
very busy.
You're looking so good.
Thank you.
How is it going?
It's okay.
The office now?
It's fine.
Yes, Mr. Andrew?
Yes.
How is it?
It's okay. It's been hot, but you know, we are very happy to be alive and in Entebbe.
And you're looking so smart.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming and turning up to the show. Dear viewers here in Entebbe 1, we are good to start. Mr. Emmanuel, what is your view? What has been achieved after the summit, that is NAM Summit and G77? In your honest view, as the CEO of this town, what have you been able to see that is visible to the community, that you can tell the public out there that yes, after the summit this was being able to achieve?
Thank you, Sam. Of course, Entebbe, as the city and as the gateway to this country, we've achieved a number of things. In terms of infrastructure, there's been some infrastructure improvement. You also the lights, our roads are lit up. We have a beautified town. I'm sure if you move along Porto Road, which you call Kampala Road is the other side of town. So this one from the airport to Kampala is called Porto Road. If you move up along it, you notice, and we've gotten this feedback. People are impressed. There's some beautification that has taken place, and we are continuing. I'm sure you're seeing what's happening along the Mayor's Gardens. We are partnering with UWEC you've seen some of the sculptures that are coming up to ensure that we enhance our tourism industry as Entebbe, the town. So, some of the achievements, you may not immediately notice them, but some of them translate into money, into people's pockets, which we might not be able to count or to get to know. But I'm sure the tourism industry in Entebbe benefited from this summit, and it continues to, because the delegates, all the people who are here from all over the world are telling the story of Uganda. Uganda, a beautiful country. And so, I'm sure in the coming months, in the coming years, we shall be having so many tourists coming in. So, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of tourism, you've heard of MICE industry meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. I'm sure we're going to get so many of them. And so, Ugandans should be very optimistic. The future is bright, so to speak.
Okay, thank you so much, Town Clerk. Mr. Andrew, you've been here for a while, unlike our Town Clerk. You represent the community of MDF, which for is extremely a big foyer. I think under tourism department. What has been something that you can show the public in terms of promoting tourism? Because, for instance, when we look at NAM Summit, when the delegates were coming over from the airport, we hardly see one stopping one of the hotels in the Entebbe. What do you relate? How do you relate this development of the summit and development of the town?
Okay, thank you very much once again. First of all, I would like to say that we are very appreciative that our international friends and partners chose Uganda as a location to host a meeting like that. I think that is one of the credits that we can relate. And then over and above that, you see, like the town clerk has just said, the NAM Summit has registered both tangible and intangible benefits. There are things that you cannot see, but there are those that you can see in terms of what is direct. I think tourism has developed some of its infrastructure. We have a new airport. You should remember that almost 15 years ago, when we had Chogam, you could not park so many aircrafts in that old airport. But now we have an expanded facility, a new facility. We have a new convention center in Kampala. And you know, we have been missing out on the business of meetings that he has just alluded to, MICE, conferencing. Our neighbors have been taking the bulk of most of this business, Rwanda and Kenya, you see. So we have new facilities, we have a new expressway, good transport infrastructure. So now we are looking at it as a door that has opened. And as that door has opened, it's going to unlock so many opportunities. Let me just briefly say this. You see, there's been talk sometimes about what has NAM really been. Is it been a white elephant? I like to tell a small story to illustrate a point. There were 3 blind men one day that had an opportunity to touch an elephant, to try to interpret what it is. And so one of them was feeling out for the animal's belly, and he thought an elephant is just a very rough animal. Another was touching the tusk, the ivory, and he thought, this is just a very hard, this is what an elephant is. Another was feeling the animal's tail, and he was wondering, is this all? And you know, as we evaluate what NAM has been, we can be blind to so many things. Some might say, no, we've not benefited, we've not gotten anything. But I can tell you,
because most people love to benefit when they're seeing cash in their hands. But in this particular area, you're not talking about cash at people's hands.
yes, it translates. You see, just like he has mentioned. Recently, Cheptegei won an international award. How has that translated to the local man here? You see, that's intangible. Yeah? But it has opened the door. When Obama became the president of the US, they had a slogan. They said, yes, we can. You know, what does that mean for us, the ordinary people? So even with NAM, we are saying Uganda has qualified its status. We can now bid for big international meetings that feed into very many value chains. So these are some of the things that we're registering. And time is going to show that the business of MICE tourism is a game changer. By the way, under the National Development Plan 3, the government has designated Entebbe as a MICE tourism location. We have the ambience, we now have an infrastructure which we want to match with the very good service sector. So yes, we have really scaled up the industry.
Okay, Town Clerk, a lot have been said about NAM and what he has really been able to be seen as something very tangible to this community and away from Entebbe. In terms of infrastructure, a lot has been done, but we are asking ourselves, does the municipal council of Entebbe has the capacity to maintain this infrastructure very functional, that it can really still be looking good maybe after a period of 3 to 4 years from now?
Thank you, Sam. Yes, as the Entebbe Municipal Council, we are very intentional. We have the plans, and we have agreed that we should have a budget, a provision, a work plan for operating and maintaining the infrastructure that has been put in place. But I also want to say this. Some of the infrastructure you've seen, especially along the highway, it's maintained by UNRA. And I'm very confident that UNRA will also do a good job to maintain part of
But sometimes when you report and they take time to respond to this.
Yeah, sometimes the responses might be slow, but eventually things are fixed. And I'm sure government is committed to making sure that the infrastructure stays sound.
Mr. Tagi, I've heard from the town clerk. We've recently had the introduction of sculptures along Kampala Entebbe Road, which is now trying to beautify the city. In your view of tourism sector, where you clean in, how do you see this as trying to promote tourism?
Of course, you see, not everybody who comes into Uganda visits the game parks. So this is a good way to showcase our diversity. And I think that it's a good development. The same sculptures are in Kampala. So it will influence when somebody comes, because Entebbe is the first impression. When somebody comes into Uganda, they are going to see this, they'll say, so where is this located? How can I access this? And that is the beauty of it. But also, let me say this. You see, in as much as we are looking at the government to raise the standard, scale up, Entebbe has about 3,500 rooms, hotel rooms. And our new convention center facility in Kampala has a capacity of over 4,000, 5,000. Now that means Entebbe does not even have the capacity to absorb most of these meetings when they will come. Somebody was asking and saying, we did not benefit so much from the NAM Summit because in terms of accommodation. But you see, what we need to do is, asking the private sector to invest more in high-end accommodation. Protea will speak because the kind of delegates that we're expecting are the high-end delegates. And that is why you find that in Entebbe, we picked a few facilities to accommodate this. So this is also an opportunity. You know, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So let's improve our facilities. Let's be able to have more high-end hotels so that in the next meeting, at least we can have more people registered in Entebbe.
Yeah, okay, you're talking about that, but simply there's one thing you're forgetting, that in most cases, they cannot bring such services because of maybe the inadequate amount of money they have within their own possession. In the government trying to work on that.
So government is trying to incentivize some of those areas to make it convenient for them to do business. But ultimately, you see what happens in Entebbe should be equal to what is happening in Nairobi. It is not the government going to tell you now, let your hotel be 5-star. I think the private sector is able to do that by themselves.
Okay, thank you so much. You've heard from Mr. Andrew Otangi, who is under MDF and representing the tourism community. Mr. Town Clerk, we've seen the sanitation is a very big challenge in our community. Are there efforts after NAM Summit to try to inculcate in this culture of keeping this town clean, as it has been during NAM Summit and many years to come?
Thank you, Sam. First of all, I want to correct the impression that we are cleaning up for now. Ideally, we're supposed to be a clean town, right from our very homes. So the notion that we only clean up when we have meetings, when we have these summits, is very erroneous. And so I've made it very clear to my technical officers that handle sanitation matters, that we have to continue. We have to continue. Yes, NAM gave us the impetus, it motivated us to do more than we have been doing, but we have to continue with that momentum. And I want to request the public that we have to clean up, beginning from our premises. We have to paint our buildings, we have to pave our frontages, we have to do all sorts of things, make sure that we have a very clean environment. Even the clean environment itself, as we're talking tourism, that alone attracts tourism. I was told you about our neighbors in Kigali. There's nothing much they're doing apart from cleaning their city. and it's giving them a lot of mileage. So as Entebbe, this is something we can do. We can't fail to clean up. But it begins with all of us. It begins from our homes. We have to start right from our homes. Then the council, the city authorities can come to do the other general cleanup, the supervision, and the regulation.
Your take on that, Ms. Andrew?
Yes, I think the town clerk has hit it bullseye. You know, our expectations for good sanitation from the municipal should also match our responsibility as good citizens. We have a culture of Bulungi 1C, and in my place we regularly have that. We actually undertake general community cleanups because we are the good things we want to see in our environments. So I think that yes, while we always want to see the city clean, what is our individual responsibility? I'll also give you an example. You know, when this new road we have, the express, was opened, was commissioned, in the first months, it was full of litter. And who is dropping this litter by the road? Bottles, you find used bottles and polythene. It is the very affluent people. Yeah. So we need to culture ourselves. While we are looking at how can the town or the municipal authority render a service of cleanliness, what is our role? Can we come out more and keep Lugonjo clean, keep Chiwafu clean, keep Kizungu clean? So in that way we're going to keep Entebbe clean. Remember that Entebbe is the first impression. So let us take it as a responsibility. It's not just about now, but let it be our culture.
By the situation whereby sometimes they blame the municipal council for having given licenses to companies that are in cleaning business, that they really charge a lot of money. Don't you think that will maybe sometimes contribute to the poor cleanliness of this particular community? Don't like what's that? Said that. Most people complain that the company that are employed to make this town clean charge exorbitant fees as they are collecting their garbage. And that's why you find so many people are dumping garbage anyhow because the fares for collecting it is very high.
The garbage collection fees are regulated. We regulate them. I'm not sure that that allegation is correct. But in case the public feels that the fees are high, then council is there to attend to that. You can look at them and review. But the collectors don't set. It is the council that has the charging policy that regulates those fees. So I want to encourage the public, if they feel that the fees are not affordable, then let them petition council to review those fees such that it's affordable to all of us.
But some information maybe I've given it to you here, maybe which can be carried on so that can be discussed. Sure. Then finally, before I let you off, Mr. Town Clerk, we have a problem, a very big challenge of land and land acquisition in Entebbe. And another challenge is the Namiro swamp, where people are very cautious in that swamp at a very high speed. What is your comment? What's your opinion on these two issues? One, acquisition of land titles in Entebbe, and the Namiro swamp. Encroachment.
I'll begin with the encroachment of the Namiro swamp. First of all, it's illegal for people to descend on a wetland, on a swamp, and walk there without permission. That alone is illegal. So I want to request the public to stop that practice. But also as council, we're going to work with NEMA and the other relevant agencies to make sure that even those who are there get out. Because there are regulations that control the involvement around water bodies, around wetlands, around those swamps you're talking about. So it's not right for the public to descend and encroach on the wetlands in the way they are doing it, in the manner they are doing it. You find some of them filling with the soil,
Right.
with the stones. It is simply not right. And there are laws in this country that stop that. His Excellency the President has also directed on that. He directed the RDCs and the coast, and by implication all of us, to make sure that people are out of the wetlands, and we're going to do exactly that, to make sure they get out. Those who are illegally occupying the wetlands.
Beautiful. How about it? Acquisition of land titles within
As for the titles, yes, I've previously stated and said, encourage the community to title their pieces of land. It's not a very difficult procedure. If you customarily own land, all you need is evidence that people who used to pay the Busuru fees to council, yes, that is enough evidence. I'm sure even local leaders know these people. You come to the council and you're guided. We have the area land committees appointed by the divisions and approved by the districts that help in ensuring people title their pieces of land. It's very important. If you title your land, then the ownership becomes more solid than it were. Anyone trying to snatch your land will not be very easy than when it's not titled. So I would encourage the public to title their land. You invest that little money and get yourself a title. It's very easy now. The process is not as elaborate as it used to be. The process, I think, is not as hard. And it's not also costly, I think, as it used to be. So the public of Entebbe, I encourage everyone to title their land.
Thank you. The month of Ramadan is there, and we have fasting with the community, the Christ-based community. What is your message to them?
By the way, the Christians, this is Lent, it's a Lent period. So we are also supposed to fast.
Any message for them?
It's not only the Muslim brothers, but I wish our Muslim brothers a very good fasting period. May Allah make their fasting and their prayers easy and answered. I pray that Allah will answer their prayers. And we should not stop the good deeds in the fasting period. We should even continue after the fasting has ended.
Great.
Mr. Andrew Otagi, finally, before I let you off the hook, you under MDF and tourism is part of you. This is a time when you expect so many local tourists to come within Entebbe. What are your arrangements during this time?
Arrangements. Thank you. First of all, it's not a book. We are not booked here. But this is a good discussion. I think it's good for us to always meet like this and discuss issues that, in a way, rotate around us, because there are very many gaps in information. The town clerk has just shared with you some very good insights, which I think can benefit the community. Still on garbage and sanitation, I'd just like to say that I think it's a mindset problem. It's a mindset issue. It starts with the way we think. Let's just improve sanitation around us as we work to make Entebbe a clean place. This is a time that we also want to show you the importance of local tourism. So the private sector, all the places are ready for what is upcoming for this season. And we want to make destination Entebbe. You know, Entebbe is a beautiful weekend retreat town. If you see this place on the weekend, it is reveling with the traffic from Kampala. And they are drawn by the allure of the lake. And we want to see how we can also expand into the Lake Victoria tourism asset. The blue economy is very big for us. So I would also like to have this opportunity to wish our dear brothers from the Muslim community a good time as they fast. Entebbe is a family-friendly town. Let's keep it like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, our viewers, Entebbe viewers and Entebbe community at large. We've been so happy today that we hosted these two distinguished gentlemen, the town clerk, Mr. Emmanuel Gachalo, and Mr. Andrew Otagi, who is under MDF, into this community. Thank you so much indeed for being with us, and have a great day.
Thank you, Sam, Ramadan Karim, to our Muslim brothers.
Great. What is that mean?